it up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Columbus Explorers and the Chicago Bears. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Break. 58, 58, Mike. Rip right, rip right. Check 26, check 26. Back, back, back.
Now the first carry for Bryce Love. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use your aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Second and long. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
They're running it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Hey, watch it, watch it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Looking to throw. Atkinson. Going to throw right side here. Complete. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
QB's trash. Let's go.
3rd and long. It's Watson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and 14. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
All right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Yep, baby, I got you. 45's the mic. 45's the mic. Hey, Haywood. Not today. Be crippled.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Atkinson. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Returnable here from the 38. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 50, it's Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
They go play action here on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. Check the out. 51's Mike. Mike 51.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be caught. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. In for the score, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week, as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this, because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Mike 56. Mike 56. Check pass. Get it.
From the gun, Atkinson. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
18 Gator. Hey, Delta. 6. I'm not ready. Mike,
Throwing on first down, Atkinson.
I got you.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing on 3rd and long. Atkinson under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Watson on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Set. 10 Lobo. Here I come. Now.
Operating from the gun, Atkinson. He's got a man, complete. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Chicago. A big play there, 77 yards, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
They'll take over. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
At their own 25-yard
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he goes out right around the 39.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. To throw again on 2nd down, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, Zoo. Ready?
To throw on 2nd down. Atkinson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Bravo. On the
To throw on 3rd down. Atkinson. Looking left side, and it's complete. 30, 10, touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 78 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let's get off the field, D.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Bears take over first.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this? He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Mike 55, Mike 55.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A gain of 13 and also a first down. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So good work there to get points just before the half as they add on to their lead.
As trite as it sounds, every little bit helps. That's exactly what they're going for. Anytime you get a chance to put points on the board, you take it.
And they didn't leave the other side with much time at all on the clock. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we...
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Hey, check 24, check 24. 5.
They'll keep it on the ground. Conley, and this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, they have that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Hey, Charlie. 56.
Looking to throw on second down. Atkinson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Check. 36.
On 1st down, here's Love. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And all the way down to the 36-yard line.
Let's go.
And they rattle off a big one. 44 yards on the ground. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check tight end, check tight.
From the red zone now, Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a give right side. Abraham. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
All day, every day, any day.
Ready. 2nd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Atkinson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to be incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 28-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued. And it's a fumble.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
We're set. 19. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Check. 55 to Mike. Check.
Here's Watson to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
on as the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Get it.
To throw again, Atkinson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll run on first down. Conley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 2nd down. Atkinson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I'm coming back.
The tackle made back at the 25-yard line.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Atkinson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is down to 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
It's just me and you.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. Touchdown. A big play there. 76 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Get him, boys!
The Bears on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Mike's 56. Mike's down.
Operating from the gun, Atkinson. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Let's go!
At their own 27-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. Watson now to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a 1st down. Watson now perfect since the 2nd half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Abraham. The 1st-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
55. Hey, eat. I got wide.
To throw is Watson on 3rd down. Going up top. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Caught here by Conley. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Off the play fake. Atkinson. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. This from 25 yards out. And this one is right through. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up.
Topper! Golf! Go!
Off play action. Atkinson, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
132 fighter. Fire.
To throw on 3rd down. Atkinson trying to lay one up deep. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 43 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Check 31.
On first down, Conley. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Big stop, let's go.
Shoot.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Third and 10.
Let's go now. 30 base.
You don't want none, baby.
Hey, exit.
Hey, you don't want to see me.
Let's go.
On third down, Atkinson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 22, the 40, the 20, 10, and he will score. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
The Bears take over
All
first
day,
and 10.
baby, let's go.
At their own
Let's go.
21-yard line.
Ready.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On third down, Conley. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. Now they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
56 is the mic. Cut.
On 4th down, Atkinson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw. Deep down. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Bears claw one back. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for our visitors, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
numbers.